Hey gang, it's Squill, and I'm kind of cheating with this. Um first off, this is my well, first off, spoilers for all of Fiona and Cake, but especially the last two episodes. Um mm, um I this is actually my second time watching the final two episodes, and um I did record a actual first impressions last night, but they don't really sum up how I truly feel about these episodes. Um and to be honest, I even now as recording this, I'm still kind of figuring out how I feel about them. Um I've sort of, I don't know, I was more positive on them before, but then I got thinking about it more, and um I don't know, I got more negative. Um and I feel like now, right after I've just watched them again, like I'm kind of on the more okay-ish, like 5 or 6 out of 10. Um but yeah, I'm even still, I'm just really disappointed by these episodes. Um, because like Fiona, the first 8 episodes of Fiona and Cake were so good. Like Jerry especially is such an amazing episode. Like my second favorite of the entire franchise. So I don't know, they to see just how much they kind of dropped the ball. It's not even like I hate most of the decisions that were made um in these episodes. It just there's just such little impact. I'll talk about the Fiona and Cake side before the Simon stuff. Like, I don't know, it was okay. Like, I liked seeing. I actually really liked the dream sequence at the beginning. I thought that was really cool. Um, as for the rest of it, I liked seeing Fiona and Cake meet up with Marshall and Gary again. I liked seeing them, all four of them, and then Hunter interact as a group. I thought that was fun, but I don't think Scarab really works as a final boss for Fiona. I kind of feel like as the show's gone on, Scarab's kind of become less and less menacing as a villain. Like I was completely on board with him in his first appearance. Um and then his second appearance in Destiny was also really good. Um but in episodes 3 or 6 through 8, um he doesn't really do much. In episode 8 he's kind of stuck in um what's it called? The cosmic whatever with Orbo, which was funny, but it didn't really make him that that much of an interesting villain. And in episode 6 and 7, he's just completely sidelined. Um, so I don't know, because of just yeah, because of how much he's sidelined, and um, if for how little I don't know, he just doesn't really work as a final villain, and there's no real impact to to the final battle between Fiona and Cake and him. Like I don't know, it doesn't really feel, it also doesn't really feel like a good big finale to Fiona's arc, you know? Um it's kind of fun, I guess, but I don't know, I feel like Fiona really needed a stronger character moment, you know? I don't know, let her have like some sort of big epiphany. Let her like, I don't know, let her. I mean, I guess she did have an epiphany about like um her being like fine, her liking her world non-magical and stuff. I don't know, like I guess yeah, there just wasn't really like much of an impact to it all. Like it just felt very by the numbers and safe. There wasn't really much like interesting going on. And okay, I hated um like the characters from previous worlds like coming back, like the tank with baby Finn, the scroll from up a tree, and I mean those like aren't that bad, but like Jay and Little Destiny from Farm World Dimension, like okay, they're coming in to help out, whatever. But then like they say, "Oh hey, can we stay? Can we just stay here at the end?" Like they both have families. Like Jay had like four siblings, and what about Farm World Finn? Isn't he worried about his dad? Like we still don't know if Farm World Finn is dead or alive. Like why didn't he return? And why is Jay just like so cool with abandoning the rest of his family? Like what's going on there? It just felt so weird. Um yeah, so like I don't know, like I'm aside from that, like I don't know. Again, like the Fiona and Cake side of this episode, it's not bad. Like it's still kind of fun. There's like some good jokes. There's some good character. Excuse me. There's some good character interactions, but like it doesn't have. It doesn't. I guess it just doesn't have much of a finale vibe to it. Like it doesn't really feel grand. It doesn't feel like big. Even if Fiona and Cake does get a season 2, which I doubt it will, this doesn't even really feel like that great of a season finale. Um, but all right, well let's go to the Simon stuff. Um, there's more stuff that I liked in Simon's plot, but there's also more that I disliked. Um, I guess first off, like that scene at the beginning with the Lich was really cool. Like him just kind of like pleading to Gold, um, about like just him like accomplishing his goal but not feeling satisfied. It's a bit more like emotional than I'd expect the Lich to be. I always kind of like saw the Lich as like almost like a machine. Um, just kind of like trying to serve this one goal of exterminating all life. And Fiona Kid kind of goes against that, um, which is a little weird, but not bad. I do think it is kind of weird, like, how come, like, okay, so Gold Betty, like, turns him into, like, one of the cubes. Um, I always like. I guess another thing about the Lich that I guess this kind of disproves. I always thought that like all the versions of the Lich were sort of like a hive mind, where like they all sort of have the same consciousness. Because Farm World Lich like remembers Finn from the main the main dimension, the universe we follow. Um, but I don't know. I guess there are different versions of the Lich. I mean, there are different versions, but they don't exactly share the same consciousness. I don't know, but the point is, the Lich we see him together again, like wants to exterminate all life, like, and I don't know. The Lich we see in Fiona and Cake seems to not really be interested in that anymore. So I'm not sure what's going on there. Um, but anyways, um, at first I thought it was like cool seeing Shermie and Beth again in 1000 plus, and like I think all that stuff like is like I think the Shermie and Beth stuff is fun, like in a vacuum, just on its own, but it feels very out of place here. Like I don't really see the connection between them and Simon. Like I know like Simon uh he plays like the Casper and Nova game, but like I don't really understand why he needed to be in 1000 plus to do that. Like why couldn't Gold Betty have just like have just like I don't know, put him in the game or something. Like I don't know, all the like Shermie and Buzz stuff, it just kind of takes time away from the Simon and Betty arc or from the Simon and Gulb arc. Um and it just kind of feels like it's supposed to be set up for an 1000 plus show and not like a natural part of this show. Um and also Beth got a new voice actress. She's not voiced by Willow Smith anymore. Uh she sounds fine. A lot of characters getting their voices replaced in this show. Um but she did a good job. I didn't have a problem with that. Um and I thought like the Casper and Nova game, like it was really cool from a visual perspective. Um, but just like the Shermie and Beth stuff, I thought it took up way too much time in the episode. Um, like I don't know, it took up several minutes of screen time, and like it's just kind of something that I don't really care about. Like I get what it's there for to like show parallels between them and Simon and Betty, but it just didn't really land for me. Um, and I think, um, and I think like one of my biggest problems with this finale as a whole, they lay on the Simon and Betty stuff way too much. Like, what I mean is like they'll have like in the Casper and Nova game, they'll show hey, Casper's not Nova's sacrificing everything for Casper, and Casper's not really paying attention to her. Then they have Beth explain that to Simon, to Simon. Then they have Simon re-explain that to Gold Betty. It's like I get what you're like. I don't know. I like him like realizing how much Betty's like sacrificed for him, and like I like that epiphany, but they like really just over explain it, and it kind of feels like it's talking down to the audience. Like I don't know, this is supposed to be a TV-14 show. This is like advertised as a young adult show, but like the characters are just blatantly spouting out the message, um, like it's a kids show, you know. Um, but okay, I'll talk about some stuff that I do like. I think like the shots, like just all the shots of like Gold Betty were really cool. Like they I don't know, they really like emphasize like the just how big she is compared to Simon. And there's some like really cool shots there. Um, Honestly, I would have just preferred if like Simon's whole plot in the episode like was just him and Gold Betty, and we just cut out the Shermie and Beth stuff and Casper and Nova just all together. Um, I I do also I like the I mean I have problems with this too. I do like um the like Simon sort of fixing what he said um in the flashback where Betty where he convinces Betty not to go on her trip. Um, like I thought that was probably like the strongest emotional moment in the finale. Well, that and I also really like the scene near the beginning where like Simon's apologizing for sort of like wasting Betty's sacrifice. That was also just a really strong scene. Um, but yeah, the Simon Fitzsimmons flashback scene, I like how it was sort of a parallel to a similar scene in Temple of Mars. Um, and I I think like the imagery of like um seeing like a mini Gold Betty like leave on the bus. I thought that was like really cool and good to symbolize like Simon letting Betty go. And that's another thing I do like. I'm definitely very happy that they didn't like have Betty unfused from Gold. Um, that like Simon's ending is still like bittersweet. Um, I like that. Um, but I don't really like Simon's realization about the crown that like he shouldn't have he shouldn't have put it on, that like he should have gone with Betty so that like he wouldn't have found the crown to begin with. Um, because like what about Marcy? What about Marceline? Like the entire point of him continuing to use the crown was to protect her. Without Simon, like Marceline could she like well we see what happened in the Star. Like she joins the vampire side. What is the point of that episode now if um if like Simon realizes, oh no, I actually didn't need to wear this crown, like, because I feel like that whole episode like points in the opposite direction. I don't know, it's just kind of like a weird message and kind of confusing. Um, and speaking of Marceline, that's another problem. Um, why wasn't Marceline in this like at all? Like she like episode 2 sets up the idea that like Simon needs to like that Simon needs to talk to her to like open up to her. And actually like near the end of the episode when we see like Simon talking to a therapist, I was kind of like half expecting it to pan out and like we realize that he's talking to Marceline, but instead it's either Minerva or a Minerva bot, which I guess was a cool cameo even though we already saw Minerva bot. But like I don't know. Is it just me, or was like the show kind of setting up the idea of like a Simon and Marcy, like just them having a conversation? Because now the only scene we get in this with like original Marcy is like just her kind of ignoring his issues while on the phone with him. Which like I'm not gonna say Marcy is like a bad person, for that, but like it's just kind of weird that that's the only scene we get of Marcy and Simon. Like Simon gets like that whole episode with Finn. Why does original Finn have more screen time in a Simon focused show than original Marceline? You know, like that's just kind of weird. Um, Yeah, so I mean, overall, I don't know. I don't know if I'd call it bad, but it's definitely disappointing. I think these are easily like the two weakest episodes of the show and kind of sour my opinion on the miniseries as a whole. Before, like, if these were on par with the rest of the show, I would have easily said that this is like the best season of Adventure Time, and that this is like just peak, this whole series is peak Adventure Time. Now it's just kind of weird because like now the first 8 episodes are like peak Adventure Time, or at least most of those episodes are. But then like the last two are kind of eh. I don't know. I kind of I don't really. I think I don't know. It's kind of just gotten me down. I was originally planning on doing like episode analysis videos for like each of the 10 episodes. Now I'm not so sure if I'm gonna be doing that. I don't know. I think like these last two kind of killed my interest in that, and I think now I might just like do a video, like do like a full video explaining my problems with these episodes, and then maybe after that just like do a video ranking all 10 of them, all 10 of the episodes, instead of giving each one like its own analysis video. Which kind of sucks. I was kind of looking forward to doing that before, but now I'm just not really feeling it. Um, but yeah, tell me how you feel in the comments, and Squill out.